It's so foundational to people's lives that people come in wanting to focus on business and we help them. But first it's like, hey, what do you want your life to look like? Now let's look at oftentimes just the tweaks that we have to make, the modifications, or maybe it's going in a different direction with your business because it's more aligned with your vision. Or maybe it's going in a different direction with your business.
You're listening to Flip Empire, the show committed to helping real estate entrepreneurs who want to build their empire without sacrificing their life. Your success and freedom starts now with your host, Alex Pardo.
As I start to kind of wrap things up here, I want to just go ahead and share with you, this is a process that Steve and I take our Ascend members through when they join, right? Because it's so critical. It's so foundational to people's lives that people come in wanting to focus on business and we help them. But first it's like, hey, what do you want your life to look like? Now, let's look at your current business. Let's look at oftentimes just the tweaks that we have to make, the modifications, or maybe it's going in a different direction with your business because it's more aligned with your vision, right? 2020, I decided after 16, 17 years of wholesaling and just being a transaction engineer, doing tons and tons of deals, building a team, that business no longer was aligned with my vision. So I took some time off and ultimately decided to pivot into self-storage, right? That business was more aligned and could enhance my life's vision. So as we start to kind of wrap down the show, this is where I talk about the difference between having a vision and goals or waypoints or mile markers. So it's important to create mile markers and action items that are aligned and allow you to live your vision. So what's a mile marker? Some people call it a waypoint. It's nothing more than a step you need to reach or achieve before you accomplish the goal. So I use the analogy when I spoke on this Zoom is we love going to the Keys. In fact, one day we'll own some waterfront home in the Keys. And when we drive from Miami to say Key West, if you've ever, taken that trip, you know that there's mile markers. Once you get into the Keys, there's all these mile markers that let you know where you are. There's mile markers in Key Largo. Then there's mile markers in Tavernier. And then there's mile markers in Isla Mirada as you start to go down all these keys all the way onto your destination, Key West. So think of the mile markers as the steps you need to reach or accomplish. I need to pass through Key Largo, Tavernier, Isla Mirada, and so on before I get to Key West if I'm driving, right? There's no way I can get from, obviously, unless I'm hopping on a plane. But if I was driving, I have to go through those keys. Those are the mile markers. I need to hit those steps. And then action items, right? What are the things that you need to do on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month basis? What are the activities that you need to do on your way to the mile markers to ultimately let you live your life's vision? One of the things we used to do on my team when we had the wholesaling operation is we would do quarterly meetings, right? And then we would do a yearly meeting. In our quarterly meetings, we would set the vision. We would set the goal for the year. Hey, here's the goal for the year, right? And then we would break it down into quarterly rocks. And then we would break that down into the weekly to-do list. And then when we would do our level 10 meetings, the weekly to-do list was broken down in action items and mile markers throughout the week. So you see how it kind of builds on each other, right? Hopefully I'm explaining kind of how this process, and I want you to understand this, not just big picture, but on a micro level as well. If you're watching the screen, this is just one of the pictures of our Ascend family. And again, it's why having a vision is so important, because within our Ascend family, we know each other's visions. And then we can quickly cut the crap when someone says, hey, I really want this, but it's like, well, are you honoring your vision? Is that what you really want? Or when somebody's struggling, or when somebody's we walk alongside them and we lift them up by reminding them of their vision, right? And when I know somebody's looking to accomplish something and that's part of their vision, we're all there to push each other and to help each other live our vision, right? And oftentimes you can find that it doesn't take that much to live your vision. And it's certainly not as expensive as what you think it might cost. In fact, 9 out of 10 times I find that people's visions, they can start living elements of their vision today. You don't have to wait 12 months, 24, 5 years. No matter what your vision is, you can start living elements of your vision today. So hope you enjoyed that episode. But before you go, I've had a lot of people recently reach out to me wanting to learn more about Ascend, wanting to understand how the mastermind component works, how the coaching relationship works. And so right now we're actually on a waiting list. But what I would encourage you to do is, if you think you're the right fit and you think you could benefit from being a part of our community, head over to ascendyoursuccess.com, watch the short video, and then just click the apply to join button below. And then we'll be in contact with you if and when a spot opens up. So really appreciate you listening to Flip Empire here. And I look forward to connecting with you on the next show. Take care.